I see art and science, and we both do, as bulwarks against stupid. And, all human inquiry ought to do that to some degree, but art and science in particular protect against stupid and help us find truth and beauty and our shared humanity. And both are failing. And I was collecting for a while and have not collected all of the pieces that I wanted for here today, but this week, a contact of ours in the American entertainment industry sent me a few things that I wanted to share. Not as indicative of the entire system, but clearly indicative of something that is going on, specifically in the movie industry. Specifically, we've got standard requirements from auditions in the entertainment industry, in the American entertainment industry. We have the first one. With regard to COVID-19, talent must be vaccinated, boosters optional, parentheses not required. Okay. Second one, COVID-19. Again, requirements for auditions in the entertainment industry. Vaccination and booster, if eligible, are required. Kids that are not eligible for a booster just need to be vaccinated. And the third one, and this is a little small for me to see. And I'm going to so this mentions Zone A, and I asked this contact of ours what Zone A means. So before I read what the standard requirement from this edition meant, Zone A refers to those working at the center of the job. So that's going to be the talent, the director of photography, the script supervisor, the assistant directors, hair and makeup, just like the crowd gathered around those at the center of the scene being shot, those who are hands-on with the talent. That's what Zone A means. So, FYI, this again from the entertainment industry. This production will require mandatory vaccination for those working in Zone A, which includes the ages 5 to 11, as of February 18th, 2022. If you are offered a role, you would be required to verify that you're up to date on your COVID-19 vaccination, and your employment in Zone A would be conditioned on that validation. Up to date means the following: a 2-dose Pfizer COVID-19 vaccination series, and if eligible, a booster dose for those who are 5+ months past their second shot. Currently, this Pfizer booster is approved for everyone ages 12 and up. Or a 2-dose Moderna COVID-19 vaccination series, and if eligible, a booster dose for those who are 5+ months past their second shot. Currently, the Moderna booster is approved for everyone ages 18 and up. Or a single-dose Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccination, and if eligible, a booster dose for those who are 2+ months past their single dose. Currently, the Johnson & Johnson booster is approved for everyone ages 18 and up, but an mRNA booster is recommended in many cases. Fourth bullet point, if you are not yet eligible for your booster shot, your vaccine status is considered up to date. You must obtain your booster promptly once you become eligible and submit validation that you received your booster dose. So, this in the week that what was already well findable in the early documents has become mainstream news, which is that Pfizer didn't actually test in the clinical trials for whether or not their shot blocks transmission. And of course, there's all sorts of gaslighting and reconfiguring of what was actually said going on now about they never claimed they did, and this, that, and the other. It's like, what possible explanation explains mandates? Here, in the military, in the government, for ferry workers, for medical workers, anywhere, if the thing isn't blocking transmission. How do you make an argument for mandates if it's not blocking transmission? And how, therefore, are people arguing that they never claimed that it did? But maybe most of the point, how is it that our military, that our entertainment industry, that other places are still requiring this insanity? How is that happening?
I agree.
Arts have fallen. Science has fallen. Arts have fallen.
It's such a simple set of points. If it doesn't block transmission, then on what is the mandate based? And why would you not value the risk, even if we didn't know that there were harms? And we absolutely do know that there are now harms. But even if you didn't know.
By value the risk, you mean assess the value of the risk?
I mean incorporate it into the calculation. Certainly the idea that these mandates are being pointed at young people, children.
5 and up.
5 and up.
If you want a job in the entertainment industry, if you're that kid, if you've got that kind of talent and drive and it's not just your parents or something, you have to take on this crazy cost.
So it is, how does one even describe it? You are being forced to demonstrate your fealty to a anti-scientific mandate that actually puts your life in jeopardy in an age-stratified way. Not only is the risk of COVID age-stratified so that young people really don't need these things. Again, it's not blocking transmission, so vaccinating young people, it would be immoral to vaccinate them to protect old, enfeebled people, but it's especially insane given that this does not prevent them from transmitting the disease by getting it or transmitting it to people who are at risk.
So the Steelman response there will be, but the vaccinated are putting all of the unvaccinated are putting all of the stress on the system by showing up in hospitals in droves, and therefore it's your obligation to the system to.
Well, there are 16 different
I don't want to make fire come out your ears.
Responses to this, but yes. Look, if the problem was that we were in an emergency where we really had insufficient resources to deal with all of the people who are being sent to the hospital over COVID, then and
there was a shot that actually reduced the chances of you ending up in the hospital.
Right. It still would not be acceptable to vaccinate kids, especially given that they have an extra risk from the shots, and especially given that they have low risk from COVID. As a matter of fact, exceedingly low risk if they have no comorbidities. But you wouldn't be firing doctors and nurses, right? You wouldn't be crippling the system by reducing the number of resources we have to throw at the people who have ostensibly been sent to the hospital. And you wouldn't be simply punishing the unvaccinated, which of course, again, makes no sense here. But you would be saying, this is a moment in which we cannot afford any high-risk behavior, right? If falling off your motorcycle can send you to the hospital and you're going to take up a bed and somebody's not going to have a bed and they're going to die because of it, this is not a moment for motorcycles, right? Or only to and from work or whatever, right? We are not across the board telling people do not engage in high-risk behavior because COVID is filling our hospitals, because it's not.
Nor are we telling people, and this is a point we've been making from the very beginning, nor are we telling people to take the parts of your life under control that you can take under control and deal with the comorbidities that you may have that you actually have agency about. Okay?
Yep.
Once you are an adult, if you have metabolic syndrome and are pre-diabetic or fully diabetic and have the beginnings of kidney disease and are morbidly obese, there is a very good chance that it's going to be extraordinarily difficult to get yourself back to a baseline that is considered very healthy. But you can move the needle in the right direction. And it is those comorbidities that are creating the most number of problems, certainly for the young, but even for the middle-aged and early elderly with regard to COVID.
And there are things that frankly take no significant effort on your part at all that make a huge difference, like vitamin D, which we're not recommending, right? So the whole system is clearly hell-bent on getting you not only to accept anti-scientific beliefs, but to put your own health at risk over them, even though it doesn't give a shit about your health from the point of view of telling you, yeah, you should take some vitamin D because it is likely to help you fend off this disease far more effectively. It's not interested in your health in a positive sense. It is interested in you not resisting nonsense at a medical level. And that raises all kinds of questions.